that your breath is starting to fill the whole region of the lung and the chest. It's gently spreading, finding a few more areas. This isn't a force or a work move so much as it's just opening up to that notion and confirming by feeling. So again, start with a physical breath, start with the lung if that helps. And start to track how deeply and how far that breath and all that it can encompass. So if it's not too much on the knees, right here at the onset of our practice, we'll set up into a shoelace, right over left. And please recall, you can always slip a little something under the hip or the thigh, and that seems to help out any sensations in the knee that don't seem deleterious. So the fingertips beside the hips. Inhale. Tracking with the breath. Now pause, just holding that for a moment, a brief moment. Softening the abdomen. Softening the area in front of the heart and around the sternum. And now bring the hands either beside your legs or in front of your legs. Exhale swiftly everything out. Remain empty. Keeping the feet active, draw the belly back. So it is a motion from the perineum through the deepest organs like genitals, bladder, colon, intestines. Using hands gently suggest lengthening. Soften the belly to have some breath. And just reestablish the Ujjayi breath for a moment, because we'll do another on this side, and then we'll do two on the other side. All right. If you're ready, we'll go fingertips beside the hips. Inhale. from inside the body. Hold the breath. Softening the core. So there's a deep internal softening. Bring the hands beside or in front of your legs. Exhale everything out. Feet stay active. Draw belly in. Just feeling through the core. Just noticing if there's a tugging on or an unfurling of. Softening through the deepest regions of the gut. Release. Breathe well. So when we were doing all of those little bits of twists and organ movements, we're describing, and I'm sure you can get a sense of when that ring kind of unrings on a structural level, there really is this hyperperfusion of fluids that kind of rush into that rung or negative pressure area. So organs get a rinse. But there's a kind of an energetic principle just like this when we hold our breath. And then breathe well and breathe deeply thereafter. It's kind of like the unringing after the breath fast. So let's switch sides. I just don't want you to miss the feast, the breath feast after the breath fast. Because breathing is a habitual thing. And sometimes we let the belly go, we just go back to our ordinary shape or way of breathing, but very often there's really dynamic offerings right thereafter. So we've got our feet switched. I've got shoelace. We'll do 2 more rounds. I'll talk us through the first. Inhale. You can inhale through the soles of your feet. You can inhale through your lungs. You can inhale from your core. Pause. Hold momentarily. This begins the fast as you soften the belly. Freeing up the area between the lungs and the guts. Bring the hands beside or in front of legs. Swift, thorough exhale. Remain empty. So here's where the fast kind of gets fun. This is the activity of fasting, is drawing the belly back. Perineum. So the perineal body, just behind the genitals, in front of the anus. Follow that up through the core. Soften belly. Breathe well. Come upright. Don't miss this part. This is really great. So kind of in that energetic way, here's that hyper perfusion moment. Find out if the breath feels larger, grander, smoother, different. You have to actively explore new breath boundaries here. Let's take one more. All right, final round of Uddiyana on your own, your pace. So you determine how long you inhale, how long you hold, how long you remain breath fasted. And of course, breathe well thereafter. Someone yesterday was asking the question, so isn't this about resource management? I immediately had a flash to this kind of breath work, and I went, yeah, I think it's all about resource management. Let's lie on our back. We'll take the feet up. I'm going to offer my thigh a little manual pressure just to feel out the movement. So inhale the head, the shoulder blades up. They can lift because the back side of the body lengthens. Finding the tip of your tailbone, or at least imagining where it could be. Exhale, raise the right leg and the right hand press. Press the thigh. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, bend the right knee. Curl tailbone, or just locate the tip of the tailbone. So if moving your tailbone hurts or is bothersome to your back, just locate it internally. Exhale, the left leg reach up, left hand press. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, right leg reach, right hand press. The pressure is just offering a little jazz to the hip crease area and the abdomen, but also a little motion. There's movement, there's feedback. As the sense of hip socket grows more enriched with each pressure, each motion. Inhale, bend right. Locate the tip of your tailbone. Exhale, left raises, left hand presses. Pressure is here to enrich your sense of hip crease, abdominals near the hips. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, left knee bent. We'll do about 2 more on each side. Now, if I'm working with any sacrum or low back scenario, you can see I've placed my feet on the wall so that when I press the leg, I'm not wiggling or fussing with the area that might be pain. It helps me keep a quieter back in case I'm prone to wiggling or rocking or... Sometimes a little perturbation is enriching, but when too many things in the system are wiggling and variable, it can bring about confusion, can muddy the information. Great. When you're complete with that, we'll set up on our forearms. We'll be working Dolphin, one leg up at a time. You can anticipate that. So I can create a kind of a gathering with my arms, my elbows, even my knees and my legs. So we all know very well how to squeeze that roll between the legs. That action here, if I were to squeeze an imaginary roll or squeeze my knees together, squeeze my elbows together, you'll feel just how much support, how much contraction and support starts to girdle the torso on the belly side, the chest side. With that, so keeping that, exhale the knees off the ground. Dolphin. Smoothly, we'll lift the right leg off the ground. Keep weight in both forearms. And often we'll lose a bit of that support from the arms, that kind of tweezing behavior of the forearms on the ground. And stay with that, it'll help create a lot of support from the sternum and the solar plexus through the shoulder. Great, let's switch sides. We'll set the right foot down. Here goes the left. Mm-hmm. 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 That's it, Marissa. That's it. That little lift right there. That was cool. Yes, yes. And then it keeps lengthening and lengthening. Now, if you can pluck, tweeze the ground with those arms, those inner arms, Marissa, you'll get a little more lift just beneath the back of the heart. Yes, 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 yes. That's it. That's the move. That's the move. Keep going with that. Let's set the left foot down. Set the knees down. Rest. Let's stand. So good old tree pose. If you need a bit of something beside you. Okay. So a point of, if sometimes this anatomy or picturing these things might help someone, especially if you're pretty visual. So these two bones, the right half, the left half, kind of join around the sacrum. And there's a disc, a joint, a disc right here in the middle, the pubic disc, right? Pubic symphysis. So that when one half of the pelvis can be steady, the other half can kind of move, right? To say that that's different than if I pick my leg up and my whole pelvis in one undifferentiated unit moves, right? If I can regard or picture this disc, this joint, and feel the halves of the pelvis moving differently, we may get some new perception stoked through the legs. Okay, germane to tree. So with the right foot down, as when I pick this leg up to put it on the calf or the thigh, really feeling for two separate halves. Here's this joint. Okay. So you can use your left hand to hold your left foot against the thigh. Okay. As I start to let that hand go, my right half of pelvic floor, that chimes in. So it's really active on this right side. And as I'm pressing with my left foot, there's really a softness through the left side of my pelvis. You can bring hands in front or hands overhead. You can also, for the challenge of it, close eyes. But just hopefully your step radius around you is clear of things before you try that. I really am lifting up through that whole inner right leg, and that inner right leg runs right up through that deep, deep gut. Ooh. Good. Let's release. Other side. Just a little chance to feel the pelvis in halves. Clearly differentiated areas really helps with a truer integration of these things. So again, there's a left half, a very quiet left half of pelvis. And there's a motioning right half of pelvis. And you can hold that foot there until you feel some distinction between the left half and the right half of your tree. The left half of your pelvis and the right half of your pelvis in tree. So here, what I'm playing with is just feeling the activity and the stillness of the left half of the pelvic floor and feeling a quality of openness through the right half. So again, I'm not clenching my right leg to my left. From the perspective of the perineum and the pelvis, now I'm just describing my process. The left half is active and very quiet. And even though I'm pressing through my right foot, my right half of pelvic floor is a lot softer. All right, release. Okay. So, if that stoked any sense of inner leg line, let's take it into Dolphin at the wall. Please know you may do forearm balance if you're kicking up, because we'll be reaching one leg away from the wall at a time. Maybe, just maybe, that sense of inner leg, connection of the inner leg through the whole trunk of the body, can give you a qualitative sense of lift. Okay, so once you've entered your dolphin on the wall, lift one leg at a time toward the sky. About 3, 4, 5 breaths, and then of course we'll switch sides. Is finding out, can you discern any particular activity in the perineum, the pelvic floor, as you're upside down? Feels different to me than when I'm right side up, head side up. Can you feel the pelvic floor on does the left side feel different than the right? Does the front side feel different than the back side? So feel the pelvic floor, Brett. Yeah. Pelvic floor, the perineum. Go straight up with that left leg. Go straight up. So in lieu of split, yeah, go right there. Try that. You might have a better sense of go ahead, lift. There you go. All right. So presuming we're complete there, let's stand at the top of our mat where we'd like to continue. Chair pose. Inhaling, bend knees, reach arms up. As I'm reaching the arms up, the rib cage is telescoping up, the lungs relaxing down. Exhale, fold forward, soften neck. Monkey. You can go hands on ground or legs. And inhale the chest away from the lap. Exhale, we'll step back, lowering all the way to the ground. Cobra, at least to begin. Inhale. And using Cobra, hands supporting the heart. Exhale, lower downward dog. Warrior two. Inhale your right foot forward. And exhaling is kind of sink into the stance, letting the tailbone glide down away from the brain. And it's here we'll get a little bit of shoulder love going. So inhaling, turn the palms up, which of course turns the arm bones in the shoulder sockets. And then exhale, turn the thumbs down. And I go a little chin down for that. Inhaling, go palms up. And feel the front side of the rib cage articulating. Exhale, turn the palms down. If you go chin down, you feel the back side of the ribs kind of spreading slightly. Do a couple more breath moves. And feel how the rotation of the arms starts to just slightly, almost like massage the spine ribs, kind of forward, backward. Okay, we'll do a little chest opener, extended warrior chest opener. Inhale, place that right forearm on the thigh. Left arm reaches or raises up. Exhaling, press arm and hand gently away. And would you be willing to play by introducing a deeper or a larger feeling breath? Not forceful, not faster, which is often how that gets bodily interpreted. It's not like suck harder, faster, but it's more like letting the perception of breath expand and include more and more of your body, more and more of the breath field your body is in. And here's an extended warrior. So you may like a block under the right hand. I'm not sure. Inhale, we'll slide that right hand down to ground or block. Left arm reaches overhead. And inhale, left hand to the ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. We'll step back and we'll lower. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Inhale the left foot forward, warrior two. What I'm appreciating this morning is feeling the summation of all of those days, maybe a couple weeks of organ-based awareness. We had a lot of days where working with the organs. And it's just such a nice, like, oh, there they all are. It's just much more easily present. Inhale, go the palms up, the chest lifts a little, kite hawk. And then exhale, turn the palms down or thumbs down. And with it, the chin may tip down if you like that emphasis through the back. We'll do a few more. So it's just an unfurling one way and unfurling the other way. You can take up a really deep dynamic or a large breath. Extended warrior variation, chest opener. Left forearm goes to thigh and the right hand is reaching up. So when our breath is exclusively physical, when we're breathing a physical breath, meaning air molecules, lung consideration, air current and velocity, the molecules of air, there can be a real muscling about the breath. When we're breathing a subtler breath, there can be less effort and there might be more sensation, more unpredictable sensations. And that subtle breath has a lot to do with where your attention is located or how your awareness is configured in your person. And here's the extended warrior. We'll slide that left hand down to the ground. And the right arm will reach overhead. That's it, Brett. That's it, Marissa. It's that whole right side, You can feel how the leg contributes that sense of openness. You can feel how that arm reach contributes, that unfurling, that opening. And maybe we're just considering, what does a slightly more open body feel like? Like for some of us, we may need a lot of perturbation to feel anything. Inhale, bring the right hand down. Exhale, chaturanga. Step the left foot back. Now decide if you're liking upward dog at this point or cobra. Inhale, come up. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, step or lightly jump the feet forward, monkey. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Inhale, bend knees. As the arms reach up, chest lifts. As the rib cage lengthen up, the tailbone just slightly shifts down. Exhaling, stand, hands to heart. Okay, from standing, we'll work standing splits. Now, again, if you need a little wall, just find a bit. Right leg stationary first. So I'm going to consider the pelvis in halves. As I start to free the left leg from the ground. And I can get a sense of the quietness or the stillness of the activity of the right half. Hands grab left foot. Left foot reaches forward. Keep telescoping the heart up. So I got this sense there's just a very slight, like that pulmonary compression. As you're holding that leg, pressing through the heart part of the foot, which is kind of up by the forefoot, just in a little from the big toe ball mount. As you press down through there, feel underneath the heart, feel through the heart. Yes, there is a heart part of the foot. And we'll set that left foot down. I'm doing a lot of kind of perceptual priming, I guess. So before I just pick up the foot, I am just kind of going through and feeling the quietness of a left half of pelvis. Just try to feel if that disc, if there's a distinction between my right half and my left half. And then I can grab the right foot with my hands. Pressing through that right foot. What's kind of cool is even if you don't know where the heart part of your foot is, with enough experimentation, you can find it. So even if you don't know, it's findable. So there's probably a little area of focus that once you kind of sense into the foot, you may feel a commensurate kind of something around or near the heart. It's kind of cool. And release. All right. We are preparing for a bridge, one leg up. I have a loop here, a strap loop. I'm making the loop about a foot or a foot and a half diameter. Really got to do something with these shadows for you. I'm not very... But here's my loop. And we'll be setting up bridge where we slip one foot into the loop, grab it with the hands, and raise one leg at a time. So, as I set up for bridge, just start with the loop around my right foot. My fingertips can find the loop. And inhaling, grow, lift the chest away from the lap. Feeling how all that internal space in the body starts to become discoverable. Exhale, the tailbone shifts, the buttock lifts. And slide both hands underneath your torso. Find the strap. So both hands have hooked into that loop. So there is a little bit of that shoulder blade walking. So I am kind of nestling the shoulder blades under my bridge. I know we don't usually do that, but this is a great place to do it. My other choice here is to grab the strap in a way that straightens the elbows. So now as I push with my feet, as I lift with my chest, my shoulders are slid down away from my neck. All right, so we know that right leg is stationary. Inhale, pick the left foot up. Reach it towards sky. And start to feel the configuration of your breath through your body. And is it possible that a broader, a more inclusive, a more expansive configuration is possible? In other words, breathe deeply. Feel broadly. Some days it'll be easier to feel broadly. Some days it'll be easier to feel deeply. Let the energy of the legs and the pose fuel that attentional, right? We'll set the left foot down to fuel that attentional discovery. All right, I'm going to step my left foot into the loop and my right foot out of the loop. So sometimes it does take a little extra energy or some reserves, a little boost to kind of move through a habitual configuration of mind, of breath, of awareness. And so when we're ready, here goes the other side. The loop is around the left ankle. Inhale, pick the right foot up, raise it, reach it, lift it. And set the right foot down. You may let go of the loop. And with the arms, go ahead and reach them overhead to the ground above your head as we slowly lower the spine. When you have fully lowered, some people get benefit from the rocking. Sometimes you get a little gentle adjustment by rocking across the breadth of the sacrum. Turn to a side, sit up, Dandasana. or sitting like the shape of an L. So I have both legs straight out. And my torso, my torso is vertical. Palms go to the ground beside the hips. The pressure of the palms may start to create some of that tractioning that we felt in, pardon me, in bridge. So arms straightening, pressing down, shoulders glide down, ribs telescope up. Now keep pressing. It's not about pushing the butt off the ground, but lengthening through core. Legs strong, legs straightened out in front. I really am a 90-degree angle. And breathe well. So usually those first few breaths, we can feel our habitual occupancy. Like I like to occupy that part of the body, and I can feel that one. I start to expand it or broaden it, kind of perturbing the boundary of our usual. Because it's when the old and the new get a little mixed together. Those little slivers of learning occur. And release. Lie back, Shavasana. And if you have access, feeling access to that subtle breath, the breath that we feel as a function of our configured awareness, what we're choosing to notice and feel at any given moment. If you're attuned to that subtle breath, these are those moments where you can feel the new inputs and the old frameworks kind of colliding and shuffling and reorganizing. I always find this fermentation process so cool and fascinating. We're not just creating chaos. At the heart of these practices, it bends toward anti-entropy. It's kind of non-random. This has an overall arc toward more and more coherence. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to his side and press your way to seated. Thank you so much, Al. It's such a beautiful thing being with you in the morning. Namaste.